Is Harley-Davidson's CVO Road Glide ST the most potent bagger that Harley's ever made? Let's find out. For 2024, Harley-Davidson has revamped its touring line, and one of the new models is this new 2024 CVO Road Glide ST. Now this bike is different than the standard Road Glide, which was also updated.
Whereas the standard Road Glide gets a new version of the Milwaukee 8 117, and the CVO Road Glide has the 121 with VVT, this ST model gets the unique 121 high output engine.
So this bike makes a lot more power than the standard Road Glide. Other changes include a new intake, which flows about 25% more air than the standard Road Glide. Now, how all this adds up with the new cam and the VVT gone is that you've got a much peakier power delivery. This model makes 145 pound-feet of peak torque and 127 horsepower.
That's about 20 more horsepower than the standard Road Glide, so that's a big deal. The CVO Road Glide ST also has shorter final gearing, which helps it retain pickup off the bottom.
So combine those two things and the overall engine performance really feels potent when you're out riding. This motorcycle is one of the first Harley-Davidsons that's derived from the Bagger Racing series. And so they've come up with all sorts of tricks and tips that they've learned from that motorcycle and applied them to this brand new CVO. And that's the first time, according to Harley, that that's ever happened, that the racing has dictated what the final product is. And so it comes out as a really interesting high-performance bagger. And the focus on this bike was definitely that. It was definitely more performance oriented. From the engine to the chassis to the electronics, everything about this bike, they really focused on performance. The chassis on this bike has a 47mm Showa inverted fork, but it's fully adjustable.
At the rear, you have a pair of Showa shocks that now have 3 inches of travel instead of 2.1.
And they are also fully adjustable. Out on the track, really handles nice, and we were totally surprised at how good it was. Another key chassis feature are the addition of these Brembo brakes. Now the brake lever is adjustable at the front, which it wasn't on the standard Road Glide, so that's nice. Overall, the braking package, really, really good. Even on the track today, going up to over 100 miles per hour repeatedly and braking to 30 miles per hour, and the brake performance was really good, so we were totally happy with that. There's some other features on this Road Glide that really make it different than the standard Road Glide. It's a lot lighter. This bike is 25 pounds lighter than the standard Road Glide. The VVT being gone saved about 2 pounds off the engine. They changed the triple clamp, which is lighter. Forged carbon fiber on the front fender, on the tank, and the exhaust pipes are titanium with the forged carbon end caps. So add all that together and it's a loss of 25 pounds, which is pretty significant. This bike weighs in at 800 pounds dry, so that's significantly less than the other standard models. As a CVO bike though, the buyer really expects a lot of bells and whistles. This bike comes with it. So the new Skyline navigation screen, it's an over 12-inch TFT display that's touch sensitive, and it has a whole new interface on the handlebars to access that information, but you can also access it on the screen. This bike comes standard with nav, whereas on the other Harley-Davidson models, you have to add the navigation. But this screen is beautiful. It's huge. It's got 3 different settings that you can go to. You've got a track-oriented mode, you've got a road-oriented mode, and then it's got a touring mode, which just really makes the navigation aspect of it huge, and then you can really see where you're going and just concentrate on that. And all of that's customizable. As far as other electronics go, we've got 3 standard modes that are road and rain and sport, but then you've got on the CVO, you've got a track and a track plus. And what some of those modes do, like the track and the track plus, they really stop the intervention on the TC quite a bit, but they also change how the brakes front to back are linked. And so that's a big factor that you wouldn't get with the other modes. So on this, you can really get in and customize it, whether you're just out sport riding or if you actually took one to a track, which we doubt most people will do, but the option's there. And then you've got these other modes that are just really ideal for your average riding. Another key feature of this bike is it's got a new Rockford Fosgate stereo system. It's a bagger. People want the really nice stereo. It's got a 500-watt amplifier, these nice speakers up in front. So people who are looking for a CVO bike that has all the bells and whistles, this one has it, whether it's sound or the carbon fiber or the performance or all these other details. For your $42,999, which is obviously pretty expensive, but you're getting a lot, and that buyer expects to have all these things on their CVO bagger. So this bike is definitely there. Another thing that Harley really wanted to concentrate on this bike is the fairing. They wanted to really improve the airflow to the rider. So the buffeting has been reduced by what they claim is around 65% in the cockpit. So the airflow is much smoother. You've got some deflectors up on the top and at the bottom to control the airflow when you're riding, whether it's cold or hot, or you can kind of change that. The fairing has a new headlight design. The LED headlight definitely has a distinct look that's very different than the outgoing road glides. They concentrated on really trying to stick to the theme but modernizing it. And unlike the street glide that has a more traditional look, the road glide has always kind of had this different look, and this is just an enhancement on that. So although we didn't get to ride this motorcycle on the street too much at this point, it's very impressive to come out to a track, which is very unique for a Harley-Davidson bagger, and get to ride around. It was an interesting day just kind of seeing what this bike was capable of. We realized that most people aren't going to actually go out and ride this motorcycle on a racetrack, but just to see what this bike was capable of doing, the lean angle that it could attain, the braking, all the different dynamics that have kind of been passed down from the bagger racing series. It's interesting to see how this bike performs, and we were really happy with it today. You've got this comfortable riding position. The ergonomics are very similar to what the other road glides are, but then it actually makes a fun bike when you're just out sport riding or riding around on a track. So overall, we walked away very impressed. You kind of get what you pay for. It's got a lot of cool things on it, and you pay the price, but the person who's looking for this exclusivity is gonna really like this CVO Road Glide ST. And that's it from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway here in Nevada. And if you like what you see, please subscribe, like. I know you're gonna have questions, so please comment below, and we'll see you next time.